right, so babe, I met this gentleman, we've been talking, and he's giving some tips on how to avoid having to take high blood pressure medicine.
Okay. What we're speaking of is to use plain old olive oil, except that the olive oil that I'm suggesting to use right here in Walmart is one that is called Pompeian. And under all the blah, blah, blah labels, which I don't pay any attention to it, the bottom line will say first cold press. And that is the best olive oil that you can possibly buy. It's an olive oil that has been analyzed by a entity in Europe that checks the type of olive they're using, the machinery being used, how it's being used, how it's being packaged, the entire, the entire quality of the oil. Now, 69%, by the way, of the olive oils that you see right here in the store are fraudulent.
Okay.
They're either just plain vegetable oil or mixed with vegetable oil or something else, and they will not pass the approval of this entity. Now, what am I talking about? What the olive oil is going to do? You need to drink every day 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now, the olive oil has a bitter taste, so some people really doesn't like to do it. But you do this first thing in the morning, and if you have trouble with the taste of the olive oil, one of the tricks my wife uses, which does not like the olive oil, cut a little slice of apple. And as soon as you drink your olive oil, chew and eat the apple so it takes away the taste of the olive oil.
So it's not, is it good to mix the olive oil with any kind of juice? Or should you mix the olive oil with juice or just drink it straight?
No, I would not do that because olive oil has elements in it that are very, very important. And once you remove those elements or mix it with something else, the olive oil cannot do the benefit that it's going to do for you. Now, here's what's going to happen with blood pressure. And by the way, I have helped literally hundreds of people, including people that are ready to die, that have saved their life with the treatment that I suggest the family to do. I do not practice medicine. I only give advice. But
nice disclosure.
yeah, well, the thing about it is, let me tell you a couple of things that are very important. I just recently found out, and it's very difficult to get this kind of information, and been at this for 30 years, and it's almost like they hide the information so people will not get it. The French did a study with 100,000 people, and this is 100,000 people that drank olive oil every day. At the end of the 15 years, they came up with a conclusion that people who drank the olive oil every day had a reduction of the chance of stroke by 73%.
Wow.
Now, the Spaniards did a similar study, but in the direction of the heart attacks. And they used 42,000 people also for 15 years. And their conclusion was that the people that drank olive oil every day had a reduction in the chances of heart attack of 44%.
Wow.
So it's, now, I've been drinking olive oil for 40 years, and my blood pressure is 111/60.
Wow.
And I'm 80 years old.
Wow.
And when I go to the doctor and they measure my pressure, they said, "Are you taking blood pressure medication?" No.
Never taken it at all.
Are you ever taking blood pressure medication? No. Are you thinking about taking blood pressure medication? Absolutely not. And what they will do, I have one particular lady that worked for me for 22 years. When she came to work for me, Fran, and she's a black lady. She's about 6 foot tall, you know, and I'm 6'6", so Frank always loved to get big hugs. So I was big enough to hug. And very, very sweet lady. I have a school, and she was a teacher in my school. And when she came to work, very nice lady. One day when I come in the morning, a friend is not there. So I asked my staff, I said, what happened to Fran? Oh, she's in the emergency room. I said, what happened? Why she's in the emergency room? Because she had her blood pressure out of control. And so I said, okay. So she came back about 5 days later after they got the pressure under control. And I asked Fran about it. You know, I said, this happened to you often? She said, yes, Mr. Tim, it's been happening every time that I started taking the blood pressure medication, 3-4 months, my blood pressure was completely out of control. They tried to change it, they done all kinds of things, and nothing have changed. I said, okay, I didn't say anything else. About 3 or 4 months later, Fran is back in the emergency room again. Now this time when she came back, I said, Fran, if I get you a bottle of olive oil, would you drink a tablespoon every day? She said, Mr. Tim, what's that going to do? Well, I believe it's going to eliminate the spikes that you have in your blood pressure. Her blood pressure is jumping up to 22, 2300 over 1700. I mean, and you can have a stroke, and, you know, I mean, disabled for life.
Oh, for sure.
If not dead. So she said, yeah, I'll try it. Said, okay, so I give her a 2-liter bottle from the olive oil we're talking about it, Pompeian, and also a little automatic device from Omron to check your pressure automatically, and I show how to do it right and so on. And from that day on, she worked for about 23, 24 years.
Wow.
She never went back to the emergency room ever again.
That's awesome. Awesome story. I appreciate you sharing. And I'm gonna share this story with other people if you don't mind. I think it can really help a lot of people.
Now, the olive oil does many